You're looking at Samsung's latest 98-inch Neo QLED 8K TV, the QN990C price tag, a mind-numbing $50,000. That's right, you could buy a luxury car or put a down payment on a house, or you could own this television. But should you? Today we're diving deep into what makes this TV so expensive, what it can actually do, and whether anyone should ever consider spending this much on a screen. The moment I turned this TV on, my brain literally couldn't process what I was seeing. The clarity, the brightness, the sheer scale of the image. It's unlike anything most people will ever experience in their homes. But after spending 2 weeks with this technological monster, I discovered some surprising truths that the manufacturers don't want you to know. Let's break down what you're actually paying for, why this TV exists in the first place, and the shocking reality of who's actually buying these ultra-premium displays. The specs that make no sense. Samsung's 98-inch QN990C Neo QLED 8K television is their flagship model with specs that sound like they're from the future. The resolution is 7680 x 4320 pixels, that's 33 million pixels, or 4 times the resolution of a 4K TV and 16 times that of a standard HD TV. It features Samsung's neural quantum processor with AI upscaling, mini LED backlighting with over 36,000 individual dimming zones, a 240 Hz refresh rate, and HDR brightness that peaks at around 4,000 nits. For reference, your phone screen might hit 1,000 nits at maximum brightness. The TV also includes an 8.22 channel audio system built into the frame with 120 watts of power. It's got every smart feature you can imagine, from built-in gaming hubs to voice assistants to smart home controls. But here's where things get interesting. Almost none of these specs actually matter for most viewers. And that's the first big problem. The 8K problem nobody talks about. The first and most obvious issue is the 8K resolution. Despite what Samsung wants you to believe, there's virtually no 8K content available to watch. None of the major streaming services offer 8K. There are no 8K Blu-rays. Cable and broadcast TV top out at 1080p or 4K at best. During my testing, I had to resort to a handful of 8K demo videos on YouTube and some test footage shot on 8K cameras. That's it. For a $50,000 investment, you're getting a resolution that's essentially useless. According to a recent report by the Consumer Technology Association, less than 0.01% of all video content consumed globally is available in native 8K. Think about that. You're paying a premium for 33 million pixels, but 99.99% of what you'll watch isn't even using them. Samsung will tell you their neural quantum processor upscales lower resolution content to look like 8K. And yes, their AI upscaling is impressive, but it's not magic. In blind tests conducted by RTIGS and other independent reviewers, viewers sitting at normal distances couldn't reliably distinguish between well-upscaled 4K content and native 8K content. The viewing distance reality check. Speaking of viewing distance, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Human visual acuity has limits. According to research from TechX and the Society of Motion Picture and Television Engineers, to fully appreciate 8K resolution on a 98-inch screen, you would need to sit approximately 3 to 4 feet away from the TV. Any farther than that, and your eyes physically cannot resolve the difference between 4K and 8K. Most people sit 7 to 10 feet from their TVs. At that distance, even on this massive 98-inch screen, you're wasting most of those 33 million pixels because your eyes simply cannot perceive them. During my testing, I had multiple video professionals and enthusiasts try to identify the resolution of content from normal viewing distances. The success rate was barely better than random guessing. When I moved them to about 4 feet from the screen, only then could they start to appreciate the increased detail. But who wants to sit that close to a 98-inch TV? The power consumption nobody mentions. Another rarely discussed aspect of these monster TVs is their power consumption. The QN990C draws up to 950 watts when displaying bright HDR content. That's nearly as much as an electric oven. Based on average US electricity rates and about 5 hours of daily use, you're looking at around $400, $500 per year just to power this TV. Over a 10-year lifespan, that's another $4,000, $5,000 on top of the purchase price. during heat waves or in areas with unstable power grids. This kind of consumption isn't just expensive, it's potentially problematic for the broader energy infrastructure. The Mini LED versus OLED battle. Samsung's Neo QLED technology uses Mini LED backlighting, which is impressive but still has fundamental limitations compared to OLED technology from competitors like LG and Sony. Despite having tens of thousands of dimming zones, Mini LED still suffers from some blooming, that halo effect you see around bright objects on dark backgrounds. During my testing with demanding content like star fields or credits on a black background, I could still detect these halos, especially when viewing from slight angles. The QN990C gets incredibly bright, much brighter than any OLED, which is great for daytime viewing in bright rooms. But OLEDs still deliver better contrast with perfect blacks and no blooming because each pixel generates its own light. The competing LG 97-inch G2 OLED costs only $25,000, $30,000, making it half the price while offering superior contrast, though with lower peak brightness. This highlights the questionable value proposition of Samsung's flagship, the gaming capabilities and limitations. Samsung markets the QN990C as the ultimate gaming display with its 240Hz refresh rate, HDMI 2.1 ports, variable refresh rate support, and low input lag. And yes, playing games on this massive screen is an incredible experience. However, no current gaming console can output 8K at high frame rates. The PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X technically support 8K output, but almost exclusively run games at 4K/60 fps or 4K, 120 FPS at best. Even high-end gaming PCs struggle to push 8K gaming at frame rates above 60 fps without significant compromises. Testing with an RTX 4090, currently the most powerful consumer graphics card available, I could barely maintain 60 fps at 8K resolution in demanding titles like Cyberpunk 2077, even with DLSS upscaling enabled. So once again, you're paying for capabilities that current content cannot fully utilize. The installation nightmare. Let's talk practicalities. This TV weighs around 150 pounds without the stand. Getting it into your home requires specialized delivery services. Installing it on a wall requires reinforced mounts and professional installation, adding hundreds to thousands more to the total cost. The dimensions are so large that many standard living rooms cannot comfortably accommodate it. During my testing period, I had to rearrange my entire studio space just to fit this behemoth at a reasonable viewing distance. And if anything goes wrong, warranty service for a display this size typically involves in-home repair rather than replacement, which can mean days or weeks without your extremely expensive TV while waiting for parts or technicians. The rapid depreciation factor. Perhaps the most painful aspect of ultra-premium TVs is their catastrophic depreciation. Based on historical pricing data from previous flagship models, these top-tier TVs typically lose 30 to 40% of their value in the first year alone. Samsung's previous generation 85-inch 8K QLED launched at $30,000 and was selling for under $15,000 just 18 months later. Applying similar depreciation rates, this $50,000 TV might be worth only $20,000, $25,000 in less than 2 years. New technologies also emerge quickly. Samsung, LG, and Sony all showcase new display technologies at CES every January. The QN990C uses Samsung's third-generation Neo QLED technology, but the fourth generation is already on the horizon. Who actually buys these TVs? According to market research from IHS Markit and display supply chain consultants, ultra-premium TVs above $15,000 account for less than 0.1% of global TV sales by volume, but nearly 2% by revenue. The primary buyers fall into 3 categories. First, the ultra-wealthy who simply want the best of everything regardless of practicality or value. For someone worth tens or hundreds of millions, $50,000 is pocket change. Second, commercial installations like luxury hotel suites, high-end sports bars, and corporate boardrooms where the expense can be justified as a business cost and depreciated over time. Third, custom home theater enthusiasts who are building dedicated viewing spaces with optimized seating positions, controlled lighting, and professional calibration. Environments where the TV's capabilities can actually be appreciated. For everyone else, it's a purchase that makes absolutely no practical sense. The alternatives that make way more sense. If you're in the market for a truly impressive home viewing experience, there are far better ways to spend your money. An 85-inch Samsung QN90C4K Neo QLED costs around $3,000 and delivers 95% of the visual experience of its 8K big brother at 6% of the price. For the truly cinematic experience, a high-end 4K projector like the Sony VPL-XLU7000ES with a 120-inch screen costs around $15,000 total and delivers a larger, more theater-like experience. Or consider LG's 83-inch G30 LED at around $5,000, which provides perfect blacks and better overall picture quality for most content than Samsung's QLED technology, albeit with a smaller screen size and lower peak brightness. Any of these options would leave you with tens of thousands of dollars to spend on other things, like a complete high-end audio system, room treatments, comfortable seating, or just about anything else. The final verdict. After 2 weeks with Samsung's $50,000 television, I've reached a conclusion that might surprise you. This TV isn't really meant to be purchased. It's a halo product, a technological showcase designed to grab headlines and establish Samsung as the leader in display technology. The company knows very few people will actually buy it. But by creating this ultra-premium flagship, they position their more affordable models as sharing DNA with the best of the best. It's a marketing strategy rather than a genuine consumer product. And it works. The QN990C's existence makes Samsung's $3,000, 5,000 models seem reasonable by comparison, even though those are still premium purchases by most standards. For the billionaires and commercial installations that do purchase it, this TV delivers the most technically impressive image quality current technology allows. It's undeniably spectacular in the right environment with the right content. But for 99.99% of consumers, this $50,000 TV represents perhaps the worst value proposition in consumer technology today. A solution to problems that don't exist, offering benefits you can't see, for content that doesn't exist, at a price that depreciates faster than a new car driven off the lot. That's why, despite being momentarily mesmerized by its technical brilliance, this $50,000 TV broke my brain. Not because of how good it is, but because of how thoroughly it demonstrates the disconnect between price and value in today's premium technology market. If you enjoyed this breakdown of ultra-premium tech, take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I'll be tackling more ridiculously expensive gadgets and telling you whether they're worth your money, or in this case, worth avoiding completely. Thanks for watching.